Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox, and we cut down shrubbery for the goats, and this stuff I don't really like, but they love. Right here, and I don't really know what it is. It's thorny. It has thorns on it. This one not so much. Huh. Well, some of it has thorns on it. I'm looking at the stem. Maybe this is the male and the females are more thorny, or the other way around. But we cut this down. Our goats love it. And we just throw it in their pens and we don't feel like tying them out. So hold that thought. Man, back around 2000, I learned a whole lot, so much, from a guy named Bruce Buckshot Hemming. And he is a trapper who put out videos, the old VCRs, and I got all of them. And then I think he put out DVDs, and I think I bought some of the redone DVDs, but that part, maybe somebody converted my videos to DVD. Anyway, I watched all his videos on trapping, and I learned so much. And the guy was interesting. He was one of the people who kind of influenced me to start making videos, because what I thought was the information he put out was top notch. And if you are interested in trapping at all, get a hold of some buckshot videos. Bruce Buckshot Hemming. His information was just awesome, and he was available via email. And so he and I wrote back and forth a lot. I went by a different name back then, but we wrote back and forth a lot. And I bought his books. I can't remember what it's called, but it was a good book on trapping. And anyway, his information was good, but his production quality of his videos was awful. Just awful. But I didn't care, because I wasn't buying his videos for entertainment. I was buying his videos for knowledge, and that was delivered in spades. And one of the things that he had that I coveted was the earlier version of this axe. And he carried it around all the time, and he used it when he was doing his trap sets, and he'd choke up on it like this, or he'd use it like this, and he'd hammer stakes in. He just carried this thing around. It was indestructible. As I recall, this is an Estwing. It's this long. I don't know if it's called a cruiser axe or what, but I think his was silver all the way down to the blue handle. Didn't have this part right here. And so then a couple months ago, when I went through my hatchet tomahawk axe fetish for a while, and I just bought all these things, I picked this up as an afterthought. I saw it in a store. I can't go by the tool section in a store without looking at the hatchets and axes. And I saw this, and to tell you the truth, I really didn't like this part. To me, it seemed like they went to some kind of tubular metal instead of the solid steel. Estwing is known. I have an Estwing framing hammer that it's all formed solid steel all the way down to the handle, and so you'll never break it. And I was thinking, man, this point of weakness is right here where this yellow tape is, right, in my mind. And so I almost didn't buy it, but it wasn't that expensive, made in the USA. I don't remember how much, maybe $30 or something-ish. But anyway, this has become my go-to axe. I use this all the time. I started using it because I wasn't afraid of hurting it. It wasn't super expensive, and it looks kind of indestructible. And so I just started using it for everything, and I really like it. Now, I'm not chopping a year's supply of firewood with it. I do split some wood occasionally with it. Mostly what I do is what I just showed you. I go out here to these trees, and I don't like them anyway, and so, pow, I cut them down. Matter of fact, here, I guess I can show you this, because this one has thorns. So I'm going to cut off this branch. I know it's at an angle. And I can show you the thorns. Let me spin this around. I had it set up so it'd be kind of level. Can you see these bad boys right here? Yeah, that's why I don't like it. has these leaves. I don't know what it is. I don't like the tree because it is so thorny, and it's kind of like a weed. It shoots roots out and then more grow up from the roots. If anybody knows what this is, please don't guess. It just fills clutter. If you know what this tree is with thorns on it, I'd be happy to know. Anyway, that's mostly what I do with it. So I chop those, either branches or whole trees if I don't want the whole tree, and I throw them into the goats. And so if you're in the market, it's pretty light axe. This is going in, it resides in the project that I just don't take the time to work on very much. My I'm never coming home bag project. This is part of it. I stick this in there. It gets really sharp. It holds an edge pretty good. I mean, I've done a lot of chopping since I sharpened it, and it's still, I can feel it. It's pretty sharp right now. You saw me, I hit that branch off with just like that. So if you're in the market, I don't think they're that expensive. I got mine, I think, at Lowe's. But there you go. Buckshot Hemming had one. I wanted one for years. Now I have one, and you want one. So there's that. Second thing, as long as we're here, taking care of resources. I don't like these foundations. I still don't know what we're going to do with them that we keep the goats in temporarily. But they're serving a purpose. I keep the goats in them. And there's plants that grow in front of the foundations, between the foundation and my porch. I let them grow. When the does were pregnant, we tied them out, and they ate a lot of those plants down, which kind of hurt my inner child, right? Because then I could see the bricks from my porch, and I don't like seeing it. But what I do is I selectively clear around here. And with these trees, like that tree that I just cut the branch off of is right here. I try not to cut the whole tree down because I'm using it as a food production tree, right? So I cut the branches off, and then every now and then, if it's like, all right, I'm not gonna be able to reach, and that's the other thing about this, I can reach really high and it's light enough, you know, I can hold it like this and chop, chop. I can get branches up pretty high and make them drop. But I'm letting the trees grow as a, what's that word? Sustainable food production for my critters. And so I keep chopping off branches, but try not to kill the whole tree in most cases, unless it's in the way. So there's that. There's always another step, right? Most of you live in suburbia or a city, and you hear me tell you, come out of her, my people live in the countryside. Somebody just, and I answered, said, hey, could I make a go of it on 5 acres? The right 5 acres you could. So most of you are like in that process. Okay, so then once you get there, you're not done. You want to raise, you don't want to just store food in your garage or basement. You want to produce food so that it's a continuing sustainable thing. Part of that food is critters, and thinking about feeding your critters the whole time is something, right? It's a real thing. And it's easy to sit in a computer chair watching a video and say, oh yeah, well, why don't you just do this? Why don't you just do that? Because it's hard. That's why. And it takes time. Everything takes time. And so to the extent that you can reduce the amount of time you have to spend on your homestead to take care of tasks, that's better. That's economy, right? It's economy of calories too. If you think about it, your calories, the less work you have to do. It's like the person who said, you have all those rocks on your property, why are you buying gravel? Why don't you just smash them up? Come on, I'll give you a sledgehammer. When you wear that one out, I'll give you another one. I have worn out 3 wheelbarrows here. All right, that's what I'm doing today. Feeding the goats this morning. It's a beautiful, crisp morning. It was real rainy yesterday. But man, it's just a beautiful blue sky. Can you see? It's a little bit crisp. And yeah, I'm gonna be working. All right. Hey, the Estwing, I don't know what it's called. This isn't really a promotion. It's just letting you know good gear that I found, that I like, that I'm using. And I really didn't have as high expectations for it. Like I said, I wanted it because Bruce Buckshot Hemming used one all the time in all his videos. He just carried it around the woods, and I thought, he's cool, so you know, I want to get one and I'll be cool too. I mean, really, it probably was something like that psychologically. And then when I saw it, when I was in my axe buying spree, wasn't that expensive. So far, this has held up, but I haven't done heavy chopping with it. This worries me, just letting you know, Estwing. Maybe I got nothing to worry about. All right, I'll see you out there.